Hi. I finally got chapter 22 done in my book. I'm working on chapter 23. I may not be streaming as long as I usually do at the moment, as I've been up since 3 o'clock in the morning trying to do the rest of chapter 22. I was like finally inspired to actually work on it, so I'm like, I gotta get it done now. Well, think there's about, we'll just call it 60, because it'll probably be that by the time I'm done. I mean, there's about 60 chapters, and I've gotten to 22. So that is good. You know, one third, that's pretty good. We're doing, oh, wait a minute, hold on just a sec. I'll be right back. Sorry, me and Squibs had a difference of opinion yesterday, and um, yeah. So, and we found out that on one of the streets, um, we found out that on one of the streets the um colors are messed up. Actually, technically, I don't know how this happened, but all of a sudden, oh, that's supposed to be that color. Um, you know what? I just realized. Okay. Oh, and it's got the garage and yeah. Okay, but this one doesn't. Um, if I'm right, the colors on the first street, which is where I based what colors go on the other streets, is wrong. So there may be more house colorings coming soon. House recoloring, I mean. Okay, so like I said, I am super tired. I've been up since like 3:15 or something like that. Um, so I like really don't want to be up right now. But I promised all of you that I would this way. I promised all of you that I would be streaming from 8 to at least 11, so okay, dumb question. Okay, so we have oak, spruce, birch. This should be jungle. And it's. Is it? No! I just realized. Okay, this one isn't even the correct color. Because it's supposed to be. Oh my goodness. I built these before I uh, knew what I was going to be doing. Oh, this one too. Okay. Um, wow. So, if you are watching my stream right now, please go on Amazon. It doesn't have to be now, just, sometime today. And check out my books. Just type in Tina Rash books into the Amazon search engine, because that's where they're at, is Amazon. And, TINARASHBOOKS. And you should find Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, Esperanza's Party, The Island, and Adopted Coral. And coming soon should be Lessons in Love, and coming soon means between now and Christmas, but and hopefully after that we will either be working on Test in Love or Finding Love. I know there's a lot of love books, but that's what I make is, kind of, well, I mean, some of the books I make have, a little bit of romance in there too. Not romance novel where it's like bordering on being like where it's bordering on being rated R or something like that. But I mean, we talk about them doing stuff, but we don't, actually have um like the full on adult talking, like a romance novel would, because like I was trying to read a romance novel once, and I don't think we have it anymore. But they were putting in some details. And I was like, I don't know if I want to read this. But anyway, I don't put in those kind of details. I just like have them go into a room and they go into a room, they kiss, they come out of the room later, stuff like that. I don't go into full on details. Anyway, but I also want to work on Finding Love because it's the next book in the beginning part of the series. So, my original thought on the matter was that Ashley was going to be the oldest out of all the kids. And then I decided I want Sean to be older than her. Actually, I don't even know if I did that consciously or if I just had William give Kat that one really good kiss that makes the babies, and if that's when I made the decision. But anyway, he ended up being a year older than Ashley, and Jesse is 3 years older than Chantel. So, so there's that. Anyway, but then in Finding Love, I decided that, well, I'd already decided it really, but I decided that Jonah and Natalie are actually older than I was acting like they are, and that they're the oldest. Well, no, Paige is the oldest, and then Jonah and Natalie, something like that. Um, something like that. Anyway, so like Jonah and Natalie are pretty much the oldest besides Paige. They're the three oldest. So I had to go and uh, do something for that. Which is I had to add them to Finding Love. Because the thing is that I was like, okay, so Michelle hasn't seen Jake for a really long time, and she is doing her job, but he's the only one that she wants to date and marry someday. But she's been going on dates with some other guys because that's part of her job. Well, I want to say it was either Hayden or Jake that was, um, one of those two was like, if I have to, I will, uh, I'll get you back uh, in my arms again, even if I have to stab everybody in the back to do it. I can't remember what, I mean, who said it though. Dang. It's kind of bugging me because, I wrote that and I'm like, it sounds good, but I don't remember who says it. Anyway, so now we're having to go and fix this and hope that that is spruce, because if it's not, then I got a big problem. I mean, I thought all the colors were good, and then I found this one house at the end of the street, and it's like, no, it's not. So, I may be only streaming until 10 o'clock today because I am hideously tired trying to finish chapter 23, which is only 3 pages. So, like, I want to get that done, eat some breakfast, and then go to sleep. I can stream this later, you know. Hopefully by then we'll have enough of the houses redone if they need to be redone. Hopefully we'll have enough of them redone that it won't matter. It'll be good. But I think that's not going to happen. 'Cause first of all, I'm probably going to end up taking a nap. Or I could have some Coca-Cola and make sure I could stream. I don't want to do that though. I had a lot of Coca-Cola yesterday. I mean, seriously, I had a lot. So I had 1 cup at home, and the medium-sized red Solo cup size. Um, we got the Great Value brand, but the Walmart brand. Yeah, I don't like the store, but they're still cheaper than a bunch of other places, so we shop there. It kind of makes me feel like a hypocrite, but But it's more that I don't like the actions of the company than, that um, it's more like I don't like the actions of the company than I actually, uh, dislike the store. But on the other hand, I do kind of dislike the store because literally, uh, we went in and bought some things yesterday. Or, yeah, we went and bought some things yesterday. And, um, and I felt bad because, somebody had dropped, uh, okay, so somebody had dropped pizza at Costco and I ended up adding to this poor guy's workload, whatever he was doing. He ends up picking it up. I hope he looked like he was wearing gloves. I hope he went and, threw the pizza and the gloves in the trash and didn't, like, keep working with the same gloves. Because some people just don't think when they're awake. They just don't think. Um, so, they may not think, oh, there's germs in there. Um, but anyway, wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 right here. Okay. So anyway, we're at Walmart yesterday and like nobody helped us. We were at Walmart the other day and there was literally a 6 pack. I mean, not a 6 pack. When those big cubes of orange soda, like it was like the Pepsi cubes, where they've got like uh 36 cans, I think it is, in the box. Anyway, somebody had put that in the freezer. And they were both looking at us like, well, why didn't you take it out? It's like, that's not my job. I'm a customer. I don't work here. I do have a Walmart hat, and I love the hat. I don't love the symbol on it. Because, as much as I love that hat, the symbol decided to, make me jobless because I supposedly yelled at somebody and I didn't yell at them. And I was just asking them to be a pretty, pretty princess and actually stand in line like everybody else. Those people that think that they need to be at the front of the line so when the light turns red, I mean, when the light turns green, sorry. I told you I was tired. Anyway, when the light turns green, they can go first, or blow through the stoplight because they don't have time. They're more important than that. And it's like I thought that was the reason why there was cameras over there because you could get people's license plates and send them a ticket in the mail. Although if you send them a ticket in the mail, they're more likely to uh, burn it in the fireplace or oops, lose it. Not giving anybody any ideas here, just that's my take on it, that's what people would do. Or if they don't have money to pay the ticket, then, they may be very upset. That's even got it. Okay. Um, okay, let's try this again. Thank you. Let's go over here. It doesn't look like it's the same color. Okay, it's the same color. It's good. Now, birch. Anyway, I was telling you a little bit about Jake and Michelle. So, Jake and Michelle grew up on Katie Bell's ship together, but um, by the time that so Jake's dad has cancer and he's given, a certain amount of time to live, and he was one of those people that does not like to go to the hospital. Even if the hospital's on ship, he does not like to go to it. The hospital on the ship is called the infirmary, unless they've changed it. And, I haven't looked it up in a while, but that's what it said. And the kitchen's the galley, and, stuff like that. I usually still just call it a kitchen, which is kind of stupid, but, it's the kitchen. Just because it's the galley doesn't mean it's not the kitchen. I probably need to, I probably need to fix that. But, yeah, it's awfully hard to stream when when you woke up at, I basically woke up at like 3 o'clock this morning and had to go upstairs. Okay. So, I, I think the lights were still on and everything. Maybe I went upstairs twice. Anyway, this morning, my light was still on, I think, or I had turned it on so I could go upstairs and not fall down the stairs when I get back. Something like that. I don't know. Anyway, so the light was on, and oh, maybe I turned it on when I came down. I don't know. Something like that. Anyway, the light was on at some point in time. So I could work on my stories, and oh boy, that's fun. Um, and anyway, so I ended up just staying up. Sounds like my husband's gonna wake up in a little while. He's making the noises like he's awake. He's just not getting up because I'm streaming, kind of thing. You know. Um. I'm so tired. But it's like I really want to finish chapter 23 because then I can start in on chapter 24, and B, I can like play video games and not feel guilty. Because I actually got something done on my book today, if I want. Um, so, so, we were supposed to go to an art show yesterday, but it wasn't going to be open till 7. So, I don't know if we're going today or not. Like yesterday, I really wanted to make a video of, some, I really wanted to make a video showing off what is available at the art show, um, to look at or just to, I don't know if it's a, like, you're buying stuff thing too. Um, because like at the doll show, you can buy stuff too. And I hope somebody tells me when the doll show is because it's usually like, if I remember correctly, I think it's usually right up the street. And as long as I don't have to have any money to get in, I can show that off too. And this year I will try to do it to where I focus on things a little better. But, oh, and I was really happy. Well, I was upset and happy all at the same time. Okay, so we're getting a Dollar Tree pretty much right across the street from our house. It's down the street, but, across, across and down the street. But, it's within walking distance. And so I put in an application already, and I'm hoping I get hired. Um, I need something out of the house. I pretty much all I do is, I stream video games and I write my books. And, and, literally that's about it. So, it'd be good to have something out of the house, and that would help me have a little bit more of an advertising budget because the idea was that we get a large shadow box thing that we're probably going to have to hand make. I might be able to ask my dad to help me, like if I buy the materials, could he come up with it? Um, I don't know if he can do that stuff anymore. I think he can. And it should be relatively easy for somebody who knows how to work with wood to do, like my dad, but I don't know. It's like kind of a daunting task, kind of a big task. But on the other hand, he's supposed to be retiring soon. Like this year or was it next year? Anyway, within the next couple of, the next 5 years, we'll say. And mom's supposed to be able to retire within the next 5 years, I think, too. Anyway, sounded pretty cool. Um, but the bad news is that we may have to go, like if we did get an interview, we may have to go to, I think it's Salvation Army, and say, can we have $20 so we can get to our, interview safely, please? Because we have hardly any gas in the truck. Although, I think the gas gauge, uh, isn't quite telling the truth sometimes. So, I don't know. There, that's better. I think I did these this way on purpose and I was going to keep them that way, but, like, they should all be the same. Anyway, this way I can find out if we've got all the colors in the correct spot and everything. I mean, these one stories, they're not so bad, but the two stories, you gotta put in the bricks just right, otherwise, it's a pain in the neck, and yeah. So, oh, we've been streaming for half an hour, that's pretty cool. Oh, so, today's normally, Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy. And so, this is the bonus time. Anyway, we did Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, and it came up Piggy Banks Darth Vader. So if you like Wheel of Fortune and Jeopardy, please look that up. It's being loaded. Being loaded or is loaded? Being loaded. Dang. It's been sitting there for a while. Oh, let's try the refresh button. Nope, still loading. Loading. Uploading. Anyway. Yeah. It's uploading right now. I don't know, because I want to work on my story. I kind of want some Coca-Cola. But I really don't think I need it. Sleep would be preferred. Anyway, like I said, yeah, I'm gonna get something to eat, and then and then probably probably finish that chapter. And so chapter 22 was the drinking contest, and then chapter 23, part of it is Sean talking to Ashley, but Sean's got a hangover. She goes and knocks on the door, and he goes, "Who is it?" Try not to talk too loud, because that's going to hurt his head. And she says, she walks in and says, "It's Ashley." And he's like, "Good, but stop yelling." And she goes, "I'm not." I think she puts his homework on the desk, and after the spot that I'm at, they decide that he'll take her to the soda fountain the next day, because they did Jinx, you owe me a soda, and she won. Like they said it at the exact same time, and then she said it just a second faster than he did. Something like that. I think that's what's gonna happen in that. Or they're gonna have their first date, their first official date. I don't know. I can't remember. Like I said. Okay, so yeah, so okay, so uh Jake and Michelle grew up on the ship together with Morgan and Hayden. And, um, everybody knows that Jake likes Michelle like that. Michelle likes Jake like that. And, they're probably going to grow up and be married someday. Well, of course, Jake um, has to go to school in Australia. Part of that was an enemy pirate thing. The enemy pirates, I want to say Miguel Valentin and his son Antonio were, like trying to hunt down Katie's crew and kill them, so they couldn't, like, make baby pirates and continue to fight back against the, against the um, enemy pirates. Well, obviously, Jake happened and Michelle happened and Morgan and Hayden, but yeah. So when Jake is old enough to go to school, he ends up having to go to school where they live in Australia. And Michelle is still on the ship. She's learning by computer or tablet, the Android iPad. That's what I've been calling it. So, like, if you don't understand, like my mom, she just thought they were all iPads. I'm like, it's a tablet. But, yeah, she didn't know. Of course, we keep or not we keep teasing her, but my sister and brother keep teasing her that when Dad goes, she is not going to know how to use any of the streaming services or anything like that, and she's going to be like stuck on one channel forever. And because she's just not a whole lot of tech savvy. She does know how to use her phone. She does know how to use a computer, but she's just not like uh Dad's got kind of a complicated system, so without him she might have a hard time. Not that I'm wishing either one of them to go on their extended vacation in, like, say, the next 5 years. I don't want that to happen. I would like them to wait until they're like 90. Wanted Mama to wait until she was like 90, but that didn't work. See, I remember Grandma was like 91, 92, something like that when she went. And my dad is my grandma's son, so, I think that's what ought to happen. I don't know if it's gonna happen, but that's what I want to happen. And that's like 30 years from now, so. I still think that the hospital could have done more for my mama. Anyway, let's get on a better subject. I don't know what better subject, but a better one. Oh, yeah, I keep trying to tell you about Jake. Okay, so Jake is going to school, and Michelle is upset to be separated from him, but, they go and visit. because during the summer, Jake gets to be the cabin boy, because his dad still lives on the ship. And, like I said, Jake's dad had cancer. So when he's 11, Timothy, Jake's dad, moves off the ship and is pretty much moping around at home. But, he makes the best of a bad situation because, it's one of those things where if you would have gotten here sooner, we could have done something about it. But since you didn't get here sooner because you don't like going to the hospital, you don't like doctors, he was definitely gonna, he had like 3 to 6 months to live, something like that. I think they said 3 months and he made it to 6. I think that's what I wrote in. Anyway, so then, so that day, Timothy told Wesley to to keep taking care of Jane, or he asked him if he would keep taking care of Jane if he went, and if he went on his extended vacation, and Wesley agreed. Wesley's fine with it. And Wesley's son Hunter is one of Jake's very bestest friends in the whole world. Morgan's one of his best friends. Hayden's one of his best friends. These are all the bestest friends in the whole world to him. And so is Michelle. Anyway, so fast forward to a few years later, and I think Jake had just turned 16, and Michelle's a year older. Yeah, I think a year older than him. So she would have been 17. Anyway, so Michelle has had to move to Australia because that's where her mom wanted to settle down because her mom's got a problem with her heart. Too much excitement makes her not feel good and she'll faint and she may die, So they had to move to Australia. Michelle wants to stay on the ship, but she wants Jake with her, but that's not going to happen. So anyway, Hunter finds her at the grocery store or something like that. Oh no, I think it was school. Hunter happens to find her at school, and he plays matchmaker. He gets her to go to Jake's birthday party with him so he can give her to Jake as a birthday present because he couldn't get anything else. Nobody would take him to the store. Or nobody had time to take him to the store. Anyway, so Michelle and Jake start talking, and everybody thought that they were going to start kissing, and that didn't actually happen, but they were dancing. And one of the friends brought some adult beverages to the party. I think it was whiskey. Anyway, they got brought to the party, but Jake and Michelle did not touch them. And I don't remember who ended up taking her home because Maybe he did. Maybe Jake did. Anyway, somebody ended up taking her home. And I think at first her dad was mad, but then it was okay. I don't remember. Somebody took her home. Maybe Wesley did. And it was one of those off-camera things. You know, like just a mention that Wesley took her home. And anyway, it blossoms into a boyfriend-girlfriend thing. And then the worst possible thing happens. Her um her mom, you know, goes on her extended vacation. Well, her dad was out at sea at the time. So with like a week to go, she ends up getting shipped to her Aunt Sheila's house. Aunt Sheila used to be on the ship as well. So anyway, uh, so Michelle, she's pouting. She's like, I want to be there, not here. And, no problem with Sheila. You know, she loves her aunt, but she wants her boyfriend. So anyway, oh, and Jake gave her a very special kiss before they, but uh, before she was taken away. But anyway, um, okay, there we go. But anyway, oh, and Jake, Jake was having a very bad day, and he decided to get in his car. Maybe it was Hunter's car. Anyway, somebody's car. Oh, he got a new car for a new vehicle um for his birthday, if I remember correctly, and it was green. Anyway, so he was able to. I mean, he followed them to the ferry to the cruise ship, or yeah, I guess it's a cruise ship. Anyway, some kind of, passenger ship. Um, and he called out to her, but she didn't hear him. So anyway, she gets shipped to Sheila's house, like I said. And so he decides to go around running red lights, and he ends up driving so fast that he's running red lights on purpose, and the only reason why they caught him is because he ran out of gas, which is before my husband owned her. My husband's 1966 Plymouth Belvedere 2 was in a car chase because she was in Sparks inside a parking garage, if I remember correctly. But anyway, she was in Sparks, and the person that stole the car, she got stolen. The person that stole the car, literally went from Sparks, which is just outside of Reno, and drove all the way, what was it? drove all the way from Sparks through Reno, down the freeway wasn't there yet, so down the little highway, through Carson, up the 50 question mark. I think it's a 50. Anyway, no, maybe that's not the 50. Maybe it's 395, 50. I don't know. Anyway, whatever. And up to Tahoe, and somewhere in, on the main street in Tahoe, she ran out of gas, hit a parked car. And she's this big metal thing. I have never asked if the parked car was okay or not. I just saw that. It's like when they tell you the story of the Boston Tea Party, you don't really think, did the tea hurt the fish? And apparently it didn't. It just made them taste funny. But, but anyway, so he gets, I think they were able to talk him out of it that time. I mean, Jane was able to talk the arresting officer out of it that time. Well, then it turns out that she is, Michelle got kidnapped the day that the night that they were gonna be catching a plane to go to Australia. She had, Sheila had shipped all of Michelle's stuff to to Jake's house, and they were going to go and, well, I think it was both of their stuff. Anyway, and they were going to move there. And until Sheila could get her own house, they were going to live at their place, something like that. Or maybe Sheila was just dropping off. I don't remember. But anyway, the bad guys came in, shot Sheila, and took Michelle. Well, they also took somebody else, but that's a hint, hint, nudge, nudge to read my book so you can find out who. Okay, is this the next color? I don't know. I think it is. Yeah. Okay, so it's 10 and I'm still putting together houses. This was not the idea, but I still gotta drop off something, and I don't think there's anything that I can drop off, but I want to drop off something so I can do the trees on that one street and have the on the cherry, on Cherry Street. I need to put in some more trees because somebody accidentally took them out with his magic snowball powers. I don't know if he was using magic snowballs all the time, but you get one little thing wrong and you end up accidentally taking out trees. So, yeah. Here we go. I don't know. I decided I liked this better. That was supposed to look like siding. But houses don't have siding anymore. They have a textured outside wall, but they don't have siding. Really. Okay. Or at least ours doesn't. But ours is kind of a cookie cutter. I think it was an apartment way back when and they turned it into condos. I don't know, but Anyway, we would be very, 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 very happy if Nevada unemployment would come through. If they would fix it, because we'd like to be able to pay at least something to our mortgage. Yeah, because we want to keep our house. We may complain about the stairs, but we'd like to keep our house. See, what I would like to do and what we can do are two different things, though. Because I would like to be able to pay this one off and live in it while we go and get a plot of land and get this one house that we saw. It's supposed to be a manufactured home, but I want to build it as a stick built with some changes. Because one of the things that was a problem is that it had like 3 bathrooms. That was awesome. But like one of them for the master bedroom, it had like the walk-in closet and then the bathroom. And I'm like, I can't handle that. If I need to go to the bathroom, I need to be able to go now. So, anyway. Okay, so I will try to go to 11. Because obviously these houses here that I'm working on are not the right material. The correct material. It's so weird because I literally was falling asleep just before this stream. Or just before, my 8 o'clock stream. And it was, but I was like really happy because I got the chapter done. And then now I can go and get this next chapter done, and I'll be even happier. Yeah, if I end up taking a nap today or having Coca-Cola, I am definitely gonna... I lost it. Oh, I'm definitely probably gonna get on and do a little bit of Dreamlight Valley, because you have over 100 companions, animals, capybara. Oh, hi. I'm sorry. Hi, my viewers. I've got 2 of them. So I was literally, I woke up needing to go upstairs, which means go to the bathroom, at like 3 o'clock this morning. So, okay. Went up there, did what I needed to do. Not going into details, you know, but, did what I needed to do. Okay, washed my hands, came, dried my hands, came down here, and I was like, you know what? It's nice and quiet. Let's work on my story. Because I was, like kind of wide awake at that point. And so that's what I did. But it took me until about 7 o'clock this morning. Actually, I think it was longer than that. Like 7:15 or so. So then I found out somewhere in there. Oh, I'm turning my book into an audio story as well. Um, for my own, for my own self at the moment, because I still don't know if I have that license or not. Um, I don't quite understand, but because the one page said yes and the other page said no, and I'm confused. The one page made it sound like you buy that part, the pro version, and you, that you buy the pro version and you've got the license. And then the other page was saying, hey, you bought the pro version, but you still have to buy the license. And I'm like, what? I don't get it. So, yeah. Anyway, so, I need to figure that out. But the way that I've got it right now, most everything sounds great on, or everything sounds great on this story. I think, there might be some like audio glitches where it kind of sounds like, uh, there's like little noises, or like the person, sounded like they were going to say something and then they didn't. Like one of the parts, I don't know why it's like this, but she says I, pauses, and then continues the sentence. So anyway, I don't know, but yeah, I've been up since like 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm tired, I'm hungry, I need to stop this, but I need to finish these uh houses with the wrong material also. And because instead of having them as planks, I decided to make them stripped oak. Not stripped oak, stripped versions of whatever colors they're supposed to be. So like this one's stripped acacia, and the first one in the lineup is stripped oak, and then like I've got to go around and make sure all the colors are correct, and it's got to be right. You may be going, you've done so much work already. Why does it have to be perfect? Because I said so. I'm like, it's got to be that way. um, like my parents always taught me there's a right way and a wrong way to do things, and doing it, I mean, just leaving it and hoping nobody notices just doesn't feel like doing it correctly. What I'm saying is like, they taught me the right way and the wrong way. I mean, that there's a right way and a wrong way to do things. And, like, you wouldn't go and put the peanut butter first and then get the bread, you know. That was a project in school. It was describe something that you do every day to a person who maybe doesn't know how to do it. So I thought, a peanut butter sandwich, that's a great idea. And then I couldn't figure out how to describe it. But, normally you go to the fridge or the bread box, wherever you keep your bread. We have to keep ours in the fridge, otherwise it goes bad quickly. So I don't know if they're just not making bread like they used to, or if something's wrong here. But yeah, we end up having to put ours in the fridge, and then you get out the jelly and like you put the bread on a plate, and yeah, there's all those details. I just could not think of how to do it. I mean, I must have come up with something, but I don't know. I think I was bad at explaining it. You know. But that's the scenario I used. Is that okay? So this is, since we have a couple of first time chatters who are Ginger the Snap and Oryx, I think it is ORYX_OG. Oh, Raider. Okay, cool. Even better. So yeah, this is the world from my stories, and my stories are The Rolling Sea, and they're available on Amazon right now. Uh, Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, Hard Times, Esperanza's Party, The Island, and Adopted Coral. Uh, Esperanza's Party and The Island are directly, uh, you know, yeah, you have Esperanza's Party, and then it goes straight into The Island as if it was a two-part episode on a TV show. Only it's going to go into Lessons in Love right after that. And then it's going to go into Test in Love, and I think Caught, and then Solitary. I am very tired. I know I keep saying this, but I really am. I am very tired. Um, oh, okay. Just keep doing it this way. So, one time I built this with, a bunch of redstone. It was awesome. Um, uh, like lights would turn on and off automatically. I'm not doing that in this world. Because my file got corrupted in 2024. So, April 2024. Anyway, so, I, that sucked. Like I had everything perfect. Oh, I shouldn't say it that way. But anyway, I had everything perfect, and it's not around anymore, because it got corrupted. Um, what ended up happening was, I don't know if you've ever seen the cloud worm on the Care Bears. Actually, I think it's the Care Bear cousins. But anyway, maybe it was. I don't know. Okay, I don't know. But anyway, it's Care Bears cousins, whatever. And the thing was that the cloud worm came, and he's, eating their cloud that they live on. So, that's his job. And they make a deal with him that, if he goes way over there, he can eat all the clouds he wants. Something like that. And he's like, okay. But he's like really wanted a friend too, if I remember correctly. I think they got him one, but I can't remember who or how. Huh. Anyway, it looked like the cloud worm had come into my world, and in some cases, there was just big gaps in my world. Kind of like this, except for that it was straight. But kind of like this, where there's a hill here, and there's a hill here, but there's this path here. Yeah, I don't know what's up with that, but it's been a while since we worked on this. It must go because this is supposed to be a big empty field. Um, I was thinking like the sand lot, like the field that they're talking about in The Outsiders. He said it was a empty lot that was good for rumbles on The Outsiders. Okay, so yeah, we need to take that out. Okay, how many other houses are messed up slightly? I keep flying by this thinking that there's nothing wrong with these houses. But obviously there is because, they're planks instead. And at first I was like, that looks fine. I'm fine with it. And then today I'm like, no, I'm not fine with it. What else? Okay, so, yeah, I think I'm gonna finish this face scene and then I'm gonna have to hop off early because, like I said, I'm hungry, I'm tired. Um, Debating whether I want Coca-Cola or not. We've got ice. Might as well have some Coca-Cola, but I don't necessarily want to stay up. I mean, I want to finish the chapter and then find out how much the next chapter is. Because if it's short too, then might as well do that one too. Oh, so it was crazy. I was making the audio of the book that I'm working on right now, Lessons in Love. And, oh, I never did finish that story about Jake. Okay, anyway, I was making the audio and yeah, I forgot what I was talking about. I mean, I know I was talking about making the audio, but like what my big deal was about that. Okay, so yeah. And then, no, that should be pink. But that's gotta be his house. So, no, we're leaving that one the way it is. That one's pink. That one's pink. Oh! So I screwed up. Oh my goodness. Okay. So that's supposed to be pale. Because it's actually supposed to be white. And pale is closest to white. And then this one's supposed to be pink. And this one's supposed to be bamboo. Or if I do it correctly, then it's crimson, warped, and then bamboo. But that's the way it is the other way. So, so yeah, this is gonna be a project I do today. Whether I stream it or not is still up in the air. I have no idea. But hey, I still got 2 viewers. That is so cool. Hi viewers. I know I said that already, but okay. So I was telling you a story about Jake and Michelle. So far she's kidnapped. Okay, so something happens and he ends up in like reform school, juvenile hall, whatever it is, until he's 19, I think. And then he ends up moving to France because that's the last known location of where he remembers that yeah, that's just strip dark oak. Okay. Anyway, that's the last known place that he knew where Michelle was. And if he had just gone into Shatana's, he would have found her. But that's not the point here. At the moment. He finds Hayden first, and since they both want to go to school in France, college in France, they get an apartment together because nobody wants to, or not nobody wants to hire him, but nobody at that time wanted to hire Jake because he's from Australia, and for some reason everybody that he found anyway that was hiring didn't want to hire him because they still think that Australia is entirely people to criminals. Don't worry, it's not. There's some really nice people there. One of the people that I actually know from there, she probably doesn't remember me anymore, but we were pen pals for a little while. And the thing was that my mom was like, wait until she writes back. Well, then by that time it was like, well, I want to write her back, and we didn't have stamps, or we didn't have paper, or something, But we had all that stuff when I wanted to write her the first time. Yeah, if we would have just had email, it would have been so much simpler, but no. This was actual mail. You sent it in, you sent it off with the mailman, or you took it to the post office and put it in the mailbox thing, Anyway, not the point here. But anyway, so they finally get a job at the mill with their new friends, Jason, Josh, and Peter, and Mitch. And, everything's going pretty good. Well, Jason decides that he wants to go to Shatana's because, there's a lot of girls there. And Hayden finds a different girlfriend besides Morgan, who is missing by this point. They don't know where she is either. So, turns out that both Morgan and Michelle were at Shatana's the whole time. But Morgan has a few issues. Like, if you talk about certain things, she's going to start yelling at you. She might actually try to break your nose on a stair, stuff like that. Anyway, but Michelle has a secret. And Jake doesn't know this secret. It ends up that Hayden and Jake get sent to rescue Michelle's dad because he was captured by enemy pirates when they docked for the night at some point in the storyline. And when they get back, she's pregnant. She's got, she's pregnant with twins. And the only reason why Jake doesn't get yelled at is because his future father-in-law is so dehydrated that he probably couldn't if he wanted to. But anyway, so then, but she didn't tell Jake. I don't think she told Jake at the time. Anyway, so then later, they, the ship's going here, it's going there, whatever. Doing party things, I guess. I didn't actually write that. Oh, they had to go rescue somebody. That's what it was. I think they had to rescue, Luke. I don't know. They had to rescue somebody. Oh, they had to rescue William because he got, yeah. They had to go rescue William because, he got taken away by his dad's mafia minions. Because his dad's the governor of New York, but in my stories, hopefully not in real life, but in my stories, the governor of New York is a mafia puppet. He's just there to look more friendly than the mafia boss. And so, anyway, they want William around so he can look sad and pathetic because because his mom passed away when he was 11, and poor pitiful me, widower, raising my son all by myself, that kind of thing. Anyway, they had to go rescue him, and then by the time they came back, it turned out that she finally did tell him the secret, and they've got twins, and they are mischievous twins. I think there were 2 going on 3 at the time, or there might have even been 3. I think there were 2 going on 3 though. But like when they're hungry, they don't go and say, "Hey, I'm hungry." They just go and get in the refrigerator. Jonah holds up Natalie and like they've even put, it was either a cell phone or a shoe in the refrigerator. Can't remember. Or maybe it was the keys. I don't know. I come up with so many different ideas. It's hard to remember. But anyway, they put something in the refrigerator. Maybe it was remote control. I don't remember. But, yeah, I want to work on that one too. And what I'm trying to do is get the first set of books, Pirate's Daughter, Misfortune, and Hard Times, connected up to Esperanza's Party, The Island, and Lessons in Love. And then if I do that, then I can just continue on with the series. But at the moment, um, it's not quite working. Uh, okay, maybe we will go to 11. I don't know. It'll be a surprise when we end. Yeah. um, I try to end at 11 and then sometimes I go over. And this time I'm just like, um, like the only reason why I'm still awake is because I'm probably got, adrenaline working the wrong way this time because I'm tired. I want to go to sleep. But I gotta do this, you know, because I promised. You know, I usually stream between 8 and 11, and it can go as far out as noon Pacific Standard Time. And so, yeah. But, like I said, I try to stick to 8 to 11. It just never works with Minecraft. It just never works because I'm trying to get all of the houses the correct color, the correct texture, all that stuff. It is taking forever. But yeah, so he's pretty happy that Jake's pretty happy that he's got kids, but he's like, are they gonna, are they gonna think I'm a good dad? And pretty sure somebody said, yeah, they're gonna love you because you're their dad. And so it's kind of funny. He had to go and babysit the kids while Shatana's has a party, and he was going to show up later. Like after the party was done, because of course he has to take the kids home, put them to bed. At Michelle lives at Shatana's, and we don't discuss Shatana's on this stream except for to say the name. But yeah, that's something nobody ever puts in their builds. And it's a very, very, you like a lot of people build Renaissance-y kind of builds, and they never put in like a Shatana's. They never put that in. But I think if they did, they would have to stop streaming. Okay. Oh, and I'm kind of bummed because I ran out of popsicles. But they were a nice treat while they lasted. I like to get the Outshine, watermelon, strawberry. I don't know any of the other flavors at the moment, but anyway, they were really good. That's something else that Walmart had at one point. I don't know if they still do. Root beer flavored popsicles. And I just remembered that because I was thinking of popsicles. Huh. Yeah, okay, let's finish this house and then 11 or not, I'm ending it. I'm hungry. Um, Sorry I keep yawning, but like I said, I've been up since like 3 o'clock this morning. No reason, I mean, no, like emergency reason for it. It's just I had to go upstairs to go to the bathroom and, you know, just decided I'd stay up because, I don't know why, but when my husband is awake, I get very distracted. And, he's doing what he's doing, streaming his game, and then I'm streaming my game, but for some reason I get so distracted. So then, like, after he's gone to bed is an even better time to try to turn that book into an audio. Oh yeah, that's the other thing. If you use AI for any reason, the best way to make your AI voice say grimmest, because it's spelled Grimaced. The best way to do it is to spell it Grimissed. I was getting kind of upset at somebody yesterday because, like, people go and use AI voices on their videos. I thought that was not allowed on YouTube, but they do it anyway. Or at least it wasn't allowed on YouTube, a few years ago. Anyway, I thought that it was in the rules somewhere that you weren't supposed to use AI. You're supposed to use your own voice. But maybe they're paying to use that voice. I don't know. But the thing is that they don't teach their AI voices to say everything correctly. Like one of my AI voices, sometimes it'll be Aunt Morgan, and sometimes it'll be Aunt Morgan if you spell it AUNT. So with him, I have to go and take out the U. And then he says it just fine. Because I know we're living in fictional Ireland, and it probably would be aunt. But I don't like aunt. I like aunt. Aunt Ruby, Aunt Vicky, Aunt Susie, Aunt Mickey. Is that all the aunts I have left? I feel like I'm missing somebody, but I don't think I am. Okay, Aunt Vicky is Mom's sister. Aunt Mickey is Mama's sister. Aunt Ruby's my dad's sister, and Aunt Susie's my dad's sister. I think that is literally all the aunts I have. I had more of them, and then they started going on their extended vacation. Poor Aunt Barbara, she had a brain tumor, I think it was. And something like that happened to Aunt Robin as well. And then Uncle Billy Jack ended up getting cancer from being at Camp Lejeune, I think he said it was. I think that's how Sidran said to pronounce it. If I'm saying it wrong, I can't help it. Uh, oh, well, if I'm saying it wrong, please let me know in the comments below or the chat. Well, since I'm on Twitch right now, it'd be chat. um, so yeah, like the last few years have been very hard on our family. Um, and right now we don't have a job in the house, but we we've been putting in applications. I just the thing said, uh, are you still interested in working at Walmart? And I'm like, yeah. And it doesn't give you the assessment twice, so you can't go and say, oh yeah, I'll think for myself. Because obviously they didn't want, yeah, I'll tell every chance I get. I mean, if they want somebody who can think for themselves, then fine, but I've always gotten I've always gotten by saying, yeah, tell. If somebody's not, like if somebody's not, um, doing what they're supposed to do, or if they're confused on something and doing it their way, but you know that there's a more efficient way out there to do things. Then I would probably, but the way the questions are, asked, it's just a bad thing. They need to word it to where people can answer correctly instead of, coming up with the lesser of two evils. Because it's like this person's not pulling their weight. That's what I was trying to say. They're not pulling their weight, and what would you do? And it's like, well, first of all, I would try to ask them, why? And try to help them figure out what's going on so maybe they could get better faster, whatever. Okay, we're good. We're good. Okay. Anyway, yeah, I keep working on this and not ending the stream, but I've got 10 minutes. So I'm going to try to get this to finish. I'm trying to get this one finished, and then we can come back another time. Probably today. Just I need to eat and probably take a nap, and then I'll be fine. Nope, I can't do that. I started out with the generic, and then I was like, oh, wait a minute, that is slowly getting into theme song territory there. So, yeah. So I have literally a giant mansion that way. I call it giant because it's 5 stories tall, and they're all 5 floors are supposed to have bathrooms and uh, bathrooms and the bathrooms and bedrooms and all that fun stuff that a mansion's supposed to have, and stairs. Only the stairs don't make much sense the way that they're supposed to, and the way that they're supposed to be to compared to what they are. Just doesn't make sense. But I'm trying to figure it out. I probably will never figure it out. Okay, I got 8 minutes. I mean, I've built that mansion so many times, but the I've built that mansion so many times, but the stairs never make sense. Okay, so the stairs are supposed to go up to the second floor. Then that same set of stairs is also supposed to go up to the third floor, the fourth floor, and the fifth floor. But getting it that far doesn't seem to be working. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. I don't know why, but this color of strip mangrove. This strip mangrove was, for some reason, reminding me of there's a episode of VeggieTales that has a silly song in it. And the silly song is, starts out, give the doggy a donut or something like that. And then there's chaos because the dog gets super hyper from eating the donuts, and he starts performing, dancing or something like that. I haven't seen that one in a while, but I like it. Okay, so we've got 6 minutes to finish this. Hopefully it'll happen. And okay, so I don't just do Twitch, I also do YouTube. My YouTube is Tina Rash, and when I post stuff, it's 7772. And then my Twitch is... Okay, my Twitch is Pirate Author, and they made it all undercase, even though I made it to where the P and the second A were capitalized, because that's what they're supposed to be. But it didn't want to let me. And I've got Discord too, but I don't go on it that much. I think it's Pirate Author 23. I will check in just a sec here. If I can. Ooh. Yeah, Pirate Author 23 on Discord. Um, like I said, I don't use it much, but you know, it is a good way to get a hold of me because it actually makes noises rather than Twitch not telling me that people are chatting. But I've I've been pretty good about that today. It's like all of a sudden I looked over and I've got a chatter and a raider. You know, that was so cool. Or a raider with, you know, two people, and I don't know what the situation was, but anyway, it's really cool. So if you're watching me on Twitch right now, please follow, chat, and subscribe. And if you're watching me on YouTube right now, please like, share, comment, subscribe, notification bell. And like I said, after I eat something and maybe take a nap, we will make this house pale and figure that out. Because I don't think I have the right colors. I don't think I have the right colors. Oh no, that would be pink, but we didn't want to make it pink because if we make it pink, then he's living in a pink house. He's supposed to be living in a white house. So I'm just gonna put that in. That looks so much better too. So his house has cobblestone because that's one of the important houses. I mean, all of the houses are important, but see, all the houses are gonna have roofs like this too. All the houses are important, but his is more important. Because at one point in time, I wasn't putting in houses, and I was like, oh, wait a minute, where do his friends live? You know, Sean and Jesse's friends, where do Ashley's friends live? We don't know. And then I started putting in houses, and it's like, okay, that's where they're from. There. So, I will see you in the next stream or video. You know what? I should probably raid somebody. Problem is that when you raid somebody, you never know if they're nice people that use nice language, or I mean, unless they're one of the people that you watch all the time. I'm not seeing anybody I actually know. I mean, somebody will be streaming soon, but I think he is going to be raiding in like 2 hours. Okay, we'll raid this one then. I know why I can't hear him. The speaker's not on. I hope he uses nice words.
Power on.
Oh, that's so sweet. Says MCA wants to give a special shout out to Pirate Author. They are an amazing streamer in person and he loves them so much. Go show them some support and love over at, and it's twitch.tv/pirateauthor. That's so cool. Yep. Okay. I can't hear you.